Welcome to Vintage Variety. I have a really good haul to show you guys again this week. I showed a very good one a couple of weeks ago. When I visit my local thrift store, it is usually hit or miss. But the past couple of times I've been to this thrift store, they've had a really good selection. So I've got some vintage pieces, a few pieces that I'm almost positive are Avon pieces from the 80s and 90s, along with a couple of modern pieces and a couple of pieces that I bought with the idea of maybe repurposing. So I'm going to get these items sorted out and I'll show them to you a few at a time. This is a really big thrift haul for me. If you've watched me in the past, you know that a lot of times I only have small thrift hauls, so I really lucked up this week and the previous week. I picked this up first. This is a vintage necklace. It's done in really lightweight plastic beads. This is a combination of blue, white, and clear beads, and I really liked the theme of it. It has a kind of a nautical theme, but you could wear this with just about anything. This next necklace, when I picked it up and started feeling the weight of it, I had a funny suspicion that it might be made out of bone. I don't know if this is going to show up on camera for you guys or not, but I did look at this under the loupe. When you run across these pieces, usually it's bovine bone. You can see tiny little pores in them, and that is exactly what these beads are made out of. I'm going to try to zoom in and maybe it'll show up for you guys. In some of these beads, you can see kind of like these tiny little dimples where they've been carved out. This does look like it needs to be restrung. It is kind of loose, but just here and there, right there, you can notice a small little dimple. And under magnification, such as a loupe, you can also see tiny pores. Don't believe that the closure on this, it has a hidden barrel closure, and I found lots of necklaces with hidden barrel closures this week, but I think the closure is a different material. I'm guessing it's some type of plastic or celluloid, because even though it matches in color, it doesn't have the same feel as the beads, and when I looked at it under the loupe, it didn't appear to be porous. This looks like something someone has put together. You can see they've knotted in between all of the beads. These are some really old beads. I did test them. They're not amber. These are faux amber. Really pretty combinations of green, brown, and yellow. This next necklace has a vintage look to it, but I'm not sure if it's vintage at all. This one is very long. It doesn't have a closure on it. It kind of looks like maybe something that someone has made. It's a combination of large plastic faceted beads and small glass beads. Regardless, I think it's a really cool looking necklace. Also found this. This is a really pretty vintage necklace. These are lightweight plastic beads. They have individual little spacers in between all of the beads, and I think this is a really pretty, kind of an almost marbled yellow color. This is another vintage necklace. This is a long black beaded necklace, and these beads look like faceted glass beads, but it turns out they aren't. These are plastic, but regardless, I thought this was absolutely gorgeous. This next necklace is somewhat of an oddball in my opinion. These beads are a very pale blue. They do have a little bit of wear on them. I guess they're supposed to be faux pearls, and they're very lightweight. But get a load of the clasp on this. It's a beautiful push-in box clasp. And then I noticed on the back it's marked sterling. So I really can't figure this one out. I'm going to have to test the clasp on it to see if it's actually sterling, because we do know that a lot of times things will be stamped as sterling when they're not. But what I really can't wrap my mind around is, why would someone put some really cheap, inexpensive beads on a sterling clasp? These are all pieces that I picked up today, and I believe all of these are Avon, probably from the 80s and the 90s. They did a lot of necklaces like this that had the hidden barrel closure in the late 80s and early 90s, and I think that these are, but just to be sure, I will get my Avon book out and look through it, and I'll show you guys if they're in the book. First, there's this one, and I'll show you the closure on it. So this is a hidden barrel closure. And I really like this. This really does look like something from the 1990s. This one's green and it has black spacer beads. This one is a much longer necklace and it's done in kind of burgundy purplish tones. Again, it has the hidden barrel closure. I'll undo this so you guys can get a good look at it. So that's how that closes up and you don't really see the barrel on it. One thing I really liked about this one is it has really beautiful bead caps on it. This one is navy blue. It has a gold hidden barrel closure on it. It has gold accent beads and some gold spacer beads. Then I found this one, and this one is brown. Again, gold spacer beads and another hidden closure on it. So now I'm going to get the Avon book out, and I'm going to look through it, and I'll show you guys if these are in the book. This is the Avon book that I own, and I've shown this in content before. This book is probably not in print anymore, but you can find it online. You can buy it used. This is a really great book to own for a couple of different reasons. Many of the later Avon pieces in the 80s and the 90s were not marked. And just by having this book and going through it and looking at the pieces, I have been able to recognize a lot of those unsigned pieces when I've been out thrifting. So the purplish burgundy colored necklace is in the book, so my hunch was right. This necklace was from the 1990s, and as I mentioned, some of those pieces were not signed. This navy blue necklace is also in the book, so I'm really excited about that. The other two pieces that I showed you guys, they are not in this book, but Avon made so many pieces, they're not going to have all of the pieces in the book, and I still believe that those pieces are Avon. I feel like these were some really great finds. My hunch was right, I believe, on all of them. I have quite a few Avon pieces in my personal collection, and I also have a few pieces that I've listed in my eBay store. But anytime I run across them, I do like to pick them up because a lot of people, including me, like to collect Avon. A few more vintage necklaces that I managed to find today. So today was a really good day to have went to this thrift store. This one, I really love the beads on it, and it has gold spacer beads. I like the shape of the beads on this one, and this one is a shorter length. I don't see any markings on it. I also found this one. This one is a longer length, and the beads are a different shape, but wouldn't these two look really great worn together? This is a modern clamper bracelet that I picked up today, and this looks new. I don't see a marking, so I don't know who made it. But there's no scratches or discoloration on it. I love that it's a gold tone because it'll go with a lot of different items that I already own, but I also really like the design of this. This was one piece of jewelry that I was a little bit indecisive about, but I really liked the Celtic design of the cross. I don't know if it's on the original chain. This looks like a vintage chain. It does have a barrel closure, but regardless, I like jewelry like this, so I decided I would go ahead and pick it up, and I think this would be a beautiful piece to wear or to layer with other pieces. Yet another beaded vintage necklace that I ran across today. This one also is not marked, and it's going to need some cleaning. I see something on one of the beads here, but I think that'll clean up rather well. I just loved the deep salmon color of this. This looks like a beautiful gold tone statement necklace, but in my opinion, at one time or the other, this was a vintage belt. You can see where someone's added a clasp onto this. And I've done that with belts before, and I've also worn vintage belts as jewelry. So I thought this was a really unique piece and decided to pick it up also. Now for a few pieces I picked up with the idea of redoing or repurposing them. I don't really like necklaces like this because they get tangled up. But apart from that, it is a beautiful necklace. I love the color. I love all of the red beads on it. So this is something I may put into my crafting and redo it in a different way on a different type of wire so it won't get so tangled. Another one that I picked up was this beautiful pink necklace. And what really drew me to this necklace was the quality of the beads and the fact that it does have real pearls on it. Hopefully you guys can see these. These are all glass beads, but then they've incorporated real pearls. And you can buy real pearls like this. They aren't all that expensive. But regardless, I thought these are some really nice quality items. The wire that it's strung on may very well be sterling. I'll have to test it. But I thought this is perfectly wearable, but I could also repurpose all of these beads into something of my own design. This beautiful necklace is not for repurposing. This is a Liz Claiborne necklace. It still has the hang tag on it with the LC. One thing I really like about this necklace is the closure. It's got that S closure. It is adjustable. I love all the colors in this. It gives you so many different options for layering with other pieces. And Liz Claiborne makes some really good quality jewelry. I do have quite a few of her pieces in my personal collection, and some of them are pieces that I've had for years. Most of you that have been watching me for a while know that I can't resist floral jewelry, and when I ran across this, I picked it up because I've owned quite a few necklaces like this that were J. Crew. And I thought, wow, that looks just like a couple of my J. Crew necklaces. Well, I don't see any markings on this. I don't think it's a J. Crew, but I thought it was just too beautiful to pass up on. Really love the blue color of this one. I have a few more pieces of jewelry to show you guys, and I am going to show you some of the pieces on the necklace stand. This is one of those things that I picked up just on a whim. All of these pieces are real stone chips. I see some turquoise in there. I'm not sure about the gray pieces, but if you guys know, let me know in the comments. Don't see any markings on this, but I do really like the color combinations in this necklace. Another thing that you guys probably know by now is I'm not crazy about stretch bracelets, but I do pick them up occasionally, and I think this one is vintage. It's in really good condition. There's still some stretch in it, and all of these rhinestones are prong set. So I thought, you know what, this is pretty enough, stretch or not, to wear anytime. I also picked up a few pairs of earrings. These are modern earrings, and I own a blue pair just like these. What I really like about these is they have that Art Nouveau design, and I also like that they're done in a gold and a black, so these would look good with a lot of different items. Then I ran across these, and I picked these up because I thought that they might have been Brighton. They really have that Brighton look to them, but I don't see any markings on them anywhere. So my guess is that they're just a modern pair of costume jewelry earrings trying to look like Brighton. Either way, I thought they were fabulous. You guys let me know what you think in the comments. I did want to pick out a few pieces to show you guys on the necklace stand. First of all, this is what I mentioned that I believe to be a repurposed vintage belt, along with the Liz Claiborne necklace and that cute little Celtic cross. I think this makes a really good combination, but you guys let me know what you think of this combination of jewelry in the comments. Here I've layered these three vintage necklaces together, and I think the white with the deep salmon color looks really good, but you guys let me know what you think of this combination. I think it would also look good with a brooch attached to it. Here are two more necklaces that I really liked the look of combining together. There is the green necklace with the black spacer beads, which I believe to be an Avon necklace, and then the longer black necklace that I just doubled up on the form to create kind of like a cascade of layers. I feel like today's haul was another really good jewelry haul. I found a lot of vintage items and lots of items that would look really well layered together. You guys let me know what you think in the comments, and if you enjoyed this content, please remember to give me a thumbs up. I want to thank you for taking time out of your day to share these items with me. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to my channel. Ring the bell for notifications, and you'll be notified anytime I upload new content. Thank you again for watching, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.